2010 Ford F-150. Customer complains that he has some noise behind the dash. So we can get the repeat for us. Sometimes she finds her home, sometimes she doesn't. And this one happens to be the mode selector actuator. And we're gonna have to pop that off and make sure the actual flat moves okay. To get to this particular actuator, it's a little tight. I mean, you could try to squeeze in there. Some people have luck, I don't know. I find it easier just to remove them 3 retaining bolts right there that hold the accelerator pedal on. That moves out of your way and gives you a lot more room. Once you have those 3 bolts removed, you can take and lay your accelerator pedal off to the side gently. And now we have much clearer access. Next, we got to unplug it. You'll see you have that red locking tab. Gotta get behind that with a pick or something. Just pull that down. And at that point, you can push in on a little tab and unplug it. You'll see in the top left corner, you have a bolt in the bottom right. So we're gonna take and remove those. Those are 8mm. I'll just be getting up in there with a socket and ratchet. All right, I just popped this one apart real quick and you can see the little teeth floating around. One's missing off of there. One's missing there. So we definitely have some missing teeth. I'm going to use this old one to feel how the flat feels. You'll feel a midway point where it's a little tight and then it pops over, goes to the adjacent side and back and forth. You'll see that this old one, you'll see that the new one has a notch just like that old one did, and how it's facing down around, I don't know, to 7 o'clock if you're looking at it from here. Portion. So let's see if it slides in. We now have the top one tight, the bottom one tight. Now we're going to take and plug in the electrical connection. And there, you take and push up on that tab. All right. Install your 3 bolts back into your accelerator pedal, and then we're going to run them down and torque them to spec. Make sure you do torque these. You don't want your accelerator pedal falling off. All right, moment of truth. Right now it's still set on center vent, which we have coming out. I'll turn the air up so you can hear it a little bit. It's all coming out the center. Now it's center and floor. Okay, you can hear it switching to the floor. It's super quiet, the transition now. Now this one should, yeah, there you go. Now it's all 100% on the floor. You can hear the transition. There's no more air coming out up here. Now it's floor and defroster. Yep. And back to just that. Yep, there you go. There you have it. Nice and quiet. I'm gonna start this up a little bit. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up with this F-150 as far as it goes with the mode door actuator. Now, there's also a blend door and a couple other things that could potentially make the same noise. So you got to get up there and see where it's coming from before you just jump to conclusions. And also check to make sure the flap isn't what's breaking the actuator. So there's a few steps. As you've seen, I took that piece and I moved it by hand, made sure everything felt good before putting a new assembly in there. Then we tested it out. Everything's moving fine. We looked at the old one, it definitely had broken teeth. So it wasn't something inside the blend door that was making that noise. It was the actual actuator. Not to say that it's not sticking and causing that extra load, but you never know. Everything's plastic these days, so it makes it really tough. I gotta take it for a ride now. The customer also had a concern about brake squeal. He just had the brakes done at a dealership, which I'm sure wasn't cheap. I've seen they put a new caliper on the driver's side, old one on this side. They cut both rotors instead of replacing them. Everything was put together dry too. I was really shocked to see that when I pulled it apart. I don't know if that's a common practice at a dealership or not. However, the brakes were noisy, so I took them apart. Where we started was I just went in there and lubed everything up like I normally do with all my brake jobs, put it back together. If we still have a concern, I'm gonna recommend replacing them front rotors that they cut just to eliminate it. But I'm gonna take it for a ride and see what it does. And like always, I hope you enjoyed. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell to be notified of future videos. Until next time, stay tuned.